Alright guys, so I recently picked up this 2-pack of a Worx GT cordless trimmer and the Worx Air lightweight blower. Now Worx is a brand that I have actually come to really like a lot of their products. They do make a decent product for the money. They seem to be very positively reviewed. I already have a small blower like this one, except it's a 32 volt, so it's a little bit more power than the 20 volt one. However, this 20 volt one I think I'm going to keep for the house, and then I'm going to take the 32 volt over to the shop because it can definitely be used out there. So I kind of alluded to in a couple of my past videos that I was looking at going electric with some of my yard tools. There's a few reasons for that. One is I work on this stuff all the time. I've never been a huge fan of two-stroke stuff, whether it be a weed eater or a small trimmer or anything like that, a blower even. I've just never been the biggest fan of them. Now I did have a small Toro gas-powered blower, but it was definitely overkill for what I do here. So I went with a corded Toro blower that had the vacuum feature. And it seems to be working out just fine for my purposes. Now, my yard is very small. What I like about this trimmer is I can essentially replace both the edger and my gas-powered weed trimmer with this one tool right here, the Worx GT, because it doubles as a small edger as well as a weed trimmer. As you guys can see right there, kind of switches back and forth. That's kind of cool that it does that. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and show you guys what comes in it. And so you guys can see what comes in the box. We have instruction manuals, as well as just about every other product they carry. So throw that aside for now. We have the trimmer. Go ahead and pull this out. Right off the bat, you can tell that this is actually very well built. I was kind of going into this thinking that because it's plastic it was going to kind of be cheap and flimsy, but it's honestly not. It's definitely got some strength to it. I really like that actually. So let's go ahead and set that aside as well. Here we have our blower attachment, as well as the blower. So we'll go ahead and slide the attachment on. There we have that. Throw that aside as well. I think the battery and charger are in here. Two batteries rather. Nope. Well, I was half right. So we have one battery, two batteries, the wheels for the trimmer, and then the charger. I actually kind of like this charger. It's very low profile, it's not big or bulky, and basically what you do is same thing on the 32 volt. You just slide it on and plug it into the wall and you're good to go. And we also have a small little shroud for the weed trimmer itself. So let's go ahead and get this stuff all put together, and we'll meet back with you guys here shortly. And so as you guys can see, I've got everything put together now. Got one of the batteries in the blower. These things, for how small they are, they put out a decent amount of air. And I'm saying this because I already have another one of these, except like I said, it's 32 volt instead of 20. But the one that I've had, I've used it in the garage, and just like in their commercials they have for these things, it works exactly as it was designed. No, you're not going to move an entire pile of leaves with one of these, but for small messes, really a lot of dirt, dust, small debris, even a little bit of leaves, just whatever gets normally tracked into your garage, or really any other somewhat indoor area or patio, that's where these things really work the best at. Now the electric weed whacker, or weed eater, weed trimmer, the only thing I had to do was put the pair of wheels on it, which slid right on. And it actually has, on the other side, a small little button here that you press to take the wheels off. And that's all there is to that. It's kind of good that it's actually on there. It requires a little bit of force to take it off. You don't want that kind of falling off when you're trying to use it. So there's the line it takes. Really nothing like a regular weed trimmer. I think these things, if I remember correctly, they're a lot easier to actually replace these spools than standard trimmer line. That's all it is. You just thread the line through, stick the spool on, and you're good to go. So as far as the battery goes, the battery just plugs in right here. Goes on and off like, you know, any sort of drill or other power tool type battery. Goes on and locks in place like so. Simple enough. And then you have your adjustable handle, which you just pull up on the little action there. And that moves it around so you can adjust it however you want it. And here's the telescoping feature. What you do is just do that and push it out, pull it back in. And then lock it back down in place. And then to adjust your trimmer head, all you do is put your foot on the shroud here, or the wheels. I think it says the wheels actually. And you can move it up and down. It does take a considerable amount of force to move the head up and down, but it's not exceedingly difficult. And you also have a little bumper with it too. So when you're trimming or edging, you know, you got that to kind of guide you along. You know, a lot of the reviews for their stuff is pretty positive. And the best part about it is the amount of money that you pay for this stuff, it really isn't all that much. This set I bought for $100 from Lowe's. And it came with both the blower and the trimmer, as you guys can see, as well as 2 batteries and the charger, which is a pretty damn good deal because separately I think they sell this thing for either, I think about $80 if I remember right. I know the blower itself, this one doesn't come with all the attachments like the one in the commercial does, but I think just by itself, if you just want the blower, I think that's about $100 as well. So I'm not too sure about that. It might come with the attachments for, you know, 99 bucks. But it's definitely a good deal for 2 tools for 100, so you're averaging about 50 bucks for each tool. All right, so I have the weed eater in edge mode. Also got the blower over there ready to go. Let's give her a shot. Now all this dirt here is semi-wet. Let's see how it handles it. it's time for some finishing thoughts now. Well, so the finishing thoughts on these, this actually isn't the first time that I've used these. The initial unboxing clips that you guys saw in this video I took about 2 weeks ago, and so both of these tools have about 2.5 weeks worth of use on them. Now let me just say this. These are both decent products, provided you are using them for the correct application. In the instance with my yard, where I live, I have obviously 2 small yards. These work terrifically if you have the same situation as I do, or if you just need to do something every now and again. Worx makes a decent product. From the amount of research I did before I bought these, and I finally settled on these just because, you know, they do work as intended. There's a lot of happy people who have owned these trimmers and these little blowers and have had no issues with them. So I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied with both of these. And you know, the blower, you're obviously not going to move giant piles of leaves with this thing. It's, you know, if you bought this thing thinking that, you know, it could do a job like that, I don't know where you got your information from, but something that pushes, you know, essentially 80 CFM and at 120 miles per hour, it's not going to be able to do something like that. It's just not. You're going to need to obviously buy, you know, a corded blower or, you know, a bigger 56 volt blower, which Worx also does make one of those if you wanted a battery powered one. But as you guys saw, for blowing dust off the driveway and debris and grass clippings, it works perfectly fine. I've used it I don't know how many times now just to blow out the garage and blow off the vehicles and the bikes after I wash them or knock the dust off of stuff. It really does work how it was intended. I have absolutely no issues with them, and for the amount of money I paid for both of these from Lowe's, I am definitely satisfied with them. They are perfect for my situation, and I hope to get, you know, definitely some more time and use out of them. As far as battery life goes, you know, they are 20 volt batteries, so they're not going to last a whole hell of a long time. I've been getting about, I would guesstimate maybe 20-30 minutes out of a charge on really on the blower. At least I haven't had to charge the trimmer just yet, but they take a couple hours to charge. You know, it's nothing too major. It's pretty much on point for everything else that's out there. So the battery life is very decent on them. I don't have any problems with the battery life, and you know, you also have 2 batteries to use, so it's not a huge deal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of long-winded and there's a lot of stuff going on in it with the unboxing and, you know, a little bit of use and all, but as I said earlier, I'm definitely satisfied with these products, and I'm probably going to buy more stuff from them in the future. So you all stay classy.